Okay, fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
Chappell Roan,
Okay.
Travis Kelce,
Oh gosh.
Winona Ryder.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Um. Well, I'm gonna kill Travis Kelce because I don't really have any relationship to him other than I just watched his mom on The Traitors. I'm not even like Taylor Swift. She's cool and all, but
Right. Okay.
I think I'm gonna fuck Winona Ryder, um, because she's hot and Chappell Roan. I want to be with her forever. So like, I want to marry her and
Marry
always
her.
have her in my corner.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? We're dreamers, we're moms, and welcome to the Mommy Artist Podcast. Now let's get creatively unhinged. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Mommy Artist Podcast. Today's episode is a special one because we're talking with someone whose art reminds us how powerful art can be when it's used to tell real stories and amplify real voices. Our guest today is Emily, a Nashville-based photographer whose work focuses on expanding the visibility of the queer and trans community through portraiture, documentary work, and event photography. Her images capture authenticity, resilience, style, and the beautiful complexity of human identity. Emily grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, as the middle child of three queer siblings in a politically liberal but observantly Jewish family, an upbringing that shaped her connection to identity, belonging, and community. Through photography, she has found a powerful way to document and celebrate the people around her, amplifying voices, capturing moments of authenticity, and building connection through art. Today, we're talking about storytelling through photography, building creative community, and the role artists play in helping people truly feel seen. Let's get into it. Emily.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
No, I'm so happy to have you. And I just feel like we already know each other just because I know your dad so well. And he even was like, Emily is me.
I
He
am.
said that.
Yes. Yeah. My mom always says that like one of the things that drew her to him at the very beginning was that he said he wanted to have a little girl that was just like him. And here I
Oh,
am.
so tender.
Yes,
So
yes.
tender. I
Yeah.
love that. Actually, your dad wrote me a message to say to you.
What? Oh my God.
Hey dots, but it's spelled like
Yes.
Daughh. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch you reacting to this on Megan and Hannah's podcast. I think it will be a very meta moment.
Oh.
At least I think that's what meta means. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you, Jesse, and Spooner later this week.
Oh, that's so great. Yes,
Yay!
I call him Fobs, so like
Okay,
father for short.
get it?
And he'll call me Dots,
There
like
you go.
Daughh. Yes,
Yes,
daughter for short. So
that is
yeah,
cute.
yeah. Aw.
Well, there you go.
Thanks, Fobs. That was
Yes,
very
there
cute.
you go.
Spooner is the name of my unborn child. That's like
Oh, I thought it was going to be a cat's name.
oh yeah, no, I mean it sounds like it's like the nickname of, the growing child.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mhm.
Okay, but you love cat. You have cats, right?
Oh, I love cats.
Okay,
Yeah, I
that's
have
why I thought it was a
cats.
cat.
Yeah. If I were to bring a cat with me on a flight somewhere, that is something I've yet to do. Um,
But you want to.
that would sounds like a nightmare to me. Yeah. I mean, I would love to have my cats everywhere I go so that I can monitor their every move and make sure they're okay, but
How many cats?
I have 2. I had 3 for a
Okay,
long time, and now I have 2.
3 even seems normal,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 4 is always I feel like that's, like, the max of, like
acceptable
that's
number of
where it gets a
cats.
little crowded.
Right.
3
Mhm.
2 feels, like, extremely manageable.
Well, I
Um
have 3 dogs right now currently,
Oh my
and I didn't
gosh.
really mean to. 2 of them are
Yeah, you never do.
rescues,
Yeah. Mhm.
and I have a chameleon, a snake, and a hamster for my kids.
Wow.
And I turned
Wow.
my ex's office into the animal room, so they all live together in there.
Oh my gosh,
But
that's
they all eat,
incredible.
like, different things, and
Yes,
I find
yes.
myself at Petco every other day buying crickets,
Yeah,
which I
right,
never thought
right,
I'd be
right.
that person.
Mhm.
And the mice, 'cause the snake
The
eats
snake,
mice, but
yeah,
luckily frozen.
yeah.
But still, I have to defrost them.
Oh
I know.
gosh. Yeah.
But now I'm like a weirdo who has all the crickets and the
No,
snakes and the things.
I mean, you're yeah, that's a
But that's
fun
what
joy for
that's
your
a
family.
mom,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's because 'cause they're the kids' animals.
yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Like we mentioned in your intro, your family grew up with a lot of dynamics and a lot of kind of opposing ideologies, but with many convictions, with many adversities. What was that like as a child?
Yeah, I feel like that really shaped, kind of like my perception of myself, like, it gave a starting point of, like, a perception of myself and how I relate to the world,
Mhm,
and then allowed me to take that with me and expand on it further once I left the house. So going into college, first time that you're meeting, other types of people, especially growing up in Fort Worth, Texas. And I went to private school
mhm.
for, like, a elementary, middle school, and just didn't weren't around like a very diverse group of
Right.
people. Yeah, it really kind of growing up in my family, we were a very Jewish queer bunch, set against the backdrop of Texas, which was very Christian and straight
Conservative.
and
Mhm,
conservative. Yeah, and it was just kind of like this unspoken thing that we were different. At the same time, also recognizing that we held a lot of privilege too.
mhm,
We were, a white, middle class
mhm,
family. So, like,
mhm,
we kind of related to our peers that way. But there were these things that really, as a kid, it felt so different.
mhm,
And I didn't quite, aside from the Jewish part was pretty obvious.
mhm,
Like, the queer part was not as obvious when I was a kid
mhm,
because you just know that your family has, like, is interested in different things,
mhm,
like I played dolls with my older brother,
mhm.
and not many other people had that
Right.
experience. We had a very unique sense of humor, that we still share today. So
Mhm.
you can imagine growing up with my dad has a very unique sense of humor, and my mom is very in tune with it. And my dad is very connected to Judaism, but my mom is the one who really
Right.
leads the charge. She's kind of made that
Well, she's
her
an
life's mission.
official.
Yeah, she's part of the Jewish clergy. She's a
Yes,
cantor.
yes.
Um, and has since then, like, devoted her life to kind of merging Judaism and activism in
Mhm.
LGBTQ, um, and other minority spaces, and very proud of her for that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, growing up there was just kind of like we felt really close to each other because we didn't have a lot of people who understood what
Mhm,
was going on outside of our world. Even in the Jewish world, there was a small Jewish community in Fort Worth,
mhm,
Texas, but nobody who was observant in the way that we were.
mhm,
We observed the Sabbath or Shabbat every Saturday,
mhm,
so we were always from sundown Friday night to sundown Saturday night. It was like Shabbat mode, so we went to synagogue, no electronics, no
mhm.
using money, and that was just how we lived our life.
As a kid, how did
Mhm.
you feel about that?
Um,
Like, when your friends were not doing that?
I felt like I was, like, missing out on
Yeah.
a lot of things. Some things that I wanted to do, some things that I didn't wanna do. Like,
Right.
"Oh, shoot, I can't do the piano competition because it's on a
Yeah.
Saturday. Darn."
Aw.
Um, yeah, just feeling different.
Mhm.
And I know that there's so many communities in different cities and states where that's not the case, where
Right,
there's a large Jewish community.
right.
Um, and but it made me really close to my siblings because we
Mhm,
all hung out with each other.
mhm,
We had friends that we would explain it to and understood,
mhm.
but they didn't truly understand, the way that we all did growing up. So when I left school, or when I left home and went to school, I went to school at USC in Los Angeles, and
And you were like, "Wow."
yeah, got involved in LGBTQ activities,
Mhm,
and started meeting people who were not, it wasn't just like, gay and lesbian and straight. There
mhm,
was like queer and trans and
mhm.
all sorts of non-binary and all sorts of identities. I was a freshman in 2008. So
Okay.
this was even like, I felt like LA was like a decade ahead of like a lot of other
Absolutely,
states in
absolutely.
that. And I got very involved and ended up being the director of our Queer and Ally Student Assembly. I was the
Wow.
first straight director.
Wow.
I'm not straight, but I thought I was at the time.
So
Yeah.
you later found out that or discovered you were bi.
Yes. Yeah. At 26. So
26.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thinking back to was it like something you always like
Oh, yeah.
you
Oh,
just
for
yeah,
sure,
okay.
for sure.
Mhm.
I feel like I had a very classic young bisexual girl
Mhm,
experience of
mhm.
having crushes on a lot of girls, and just thinking I really admired them
Right.
or wanted to be like
It
them,
just
or
wasn't
they were just my best friend who I was obsessed with and
exactly.
wanted to spend every single moment with and was jealous of her boyfriends. And um it was just easier to. I also
Mhm,
was really boy crazy. I grew up in the 2000s. I loved my teen magazines. I
mhm,
loved, my TV shows. I always I went to smaller schools until I went to high school and public school, and I
mhm.
was really drawn to that classic trope of like the high school like kind
Yes,
of
like those
thing.
high school movies and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So I
Yep.
really leaned into that, and it was easier to, when you're 12 and you think that you have a crush on a girl, you don't want to actually, well, in my experience, I didn't want to actually have to unpack that.
I know. But
Um
it seemed like in your since you're already so familiar with it in your
yeah.
family, but still I guess there's something
Yeah, I mean, even in growing up in a family, where it was always such a big part of the conversation in just a
Mhm,
very fluid way, just kind of like acceptance from from a young age. It was something that we talked about, but also something we didn't explicitly talk about
right,
until we started, getting older
right.
and talking about it. And I didn't know too many queer people as a child,
Mhm,
growing up
mhm.
in Fort Worth, Texas,
Right.
or out queer people. So yeah, going to college and finally like being like kind of circling back to the other, other part, feeling like, oh, queer community is where I really feel connected because
Mhm,
it reminded me of being home. But there was this expansion of, oh, how do other people relate to this identity
mhm,
outside of just what I knew in my little world?
mhm.
And then that's kind of where I've always sought connection
That's
growing
cool.
up. So,
Yes, because you
yeah.
can't it's like there's no box,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
You can be any type of anything you want to be, and
Mhm.
it's like growing, like, in the best way possible, like, you started here it's like just you're gay or you're straight, and now
Mhm.
it's like you can be essentially whatever you want and love
Mhm.
whoever you want, and
Mhm.
it's getting more widely accepted, and I
Yeah.
think that's awesome, and I think that's great that you're an advocate for that.
Yeah, and not even that you can be, but just that you
Right, you
are
are,
living that,
exactly. Or that you
as
can
you
be
go.
outwardly and
Yes.
not
Yeah.
afraid to
For
be that.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're married to a man now.
Yes, yes, same.
How is this man?
Yeah.
Wonderful?
Yes, he's amazing. So, yeah, I came out at 26
Mhm,
as bi. I had been, always, had an inkling, but
mhm.
was so active in the queer community. I was like, "Oh, I'm just a strong ally,"
Right,
or, like my older brother's gay, my younger brother's trans. So I was worried people would be like, "Oh, she's just like, going along with
right,
man."
right, I could see that.
Um, but it just kind of hit me one day. I was in a long distance relationship with somebody I met in Texas
Mhm.
after high school, but then he moved to Nashville while I was in college, and
Okay.
we kind of reestablished a connection and dated long distance while I was in college, and that's why I moved here. But
Mhm.
we were together for 6.5
Oh,
years
wow.
during like very formative years of my like teenhood and early
Mhm,
20s, and I
mhm,
didn't date in high school.
mhm,
So that was the only relationship experience that I had.
mhm,
So after 6.5 years at 26, we finally decided to go our separate ways. And I remember saying to him, I think I'm bi. And he was like, well, aren't you?
Oh, like,
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it
I
was
was,
something that,
yeah.
like, he realized before right.
Yeah. And I just, yeah, just kind of saying it. And it was the most exhilarating feeling ever, just being single for the
Mhm,
first time,
mhm.
going on the apps,
Yes, the
um,
apps. Oh,
in 2016, 17,
mhm.
when I had never been on them before.
Yes.
And
And selecting both? All
Yes, yes,
genders?
all genders, really excited to be dating,
Mhm.
girls and non-binary people, and also, seeing what was out there with
Yeah,
men, because
yeah.
in Nashville, there's not that many options of non-men. You kind of run out of the queer app circuit ran out pretty quick.
Right.
Especially back in that time,
Uh-huh,
but I was
uh-huh.
dating, I was being, like, way too forward and emotional with a lot of people, got ghosted more
Oh
times
my
than I
gosh,
care to
that's okay. I'm getting
say.
ghosted right now.
Really?
Yes,
I'm
girl, it's
sorry.
okay.
It's yeah.
Happens to all of us.
Yes, yeah, and women do it too, I just, you think, "Oh, I can just dump everything on to
Right,
this
because 'cause we're
woman,"
so emotional
and,
together.
there is a time when it's too much. So it was, like 4 in the morning, you turn on your Tinder because 'cause you're up in the middle of the night and you're
You
swiping,
need a yeah, you need a check.
and, I, ran out of like, I ran out of the
Of the
women, so I
people.
go over to the men, and I swipe on the men, and my husband, Jesse, was there.
Yay! Oh,
Um
it's a what was it, Tinder?
yeah,
It's
it
a
was
Tinder
Tinder.
love.
Yeah. We met on
I
Tinder.
love it.
Yeah, and, we swiped, and, there were he seemed sweet in his profile, but there were also some things. He said he was really into sports, and I was
Mm,
like, "I'm not really into sports," but he has
mhm.
a cat, we'll see.
Okay, yeah, sports
Um,
chat.
and he said his first message to me was "Hi," and normally I always tell this story, and I don't know how much he loves me telling it. I just think it's so cute. I was just like, "You know what? What's there to lose?"
Right.
So we had a conversation, and he was really receptive and wonderful. And he asked me to coffee, and I was tired of the traditional coffee dates. I
Mhm,
feel like they didn't
mhm,
really go anywhere. So I was saying, I'm having a garage sale with all of my best friends this
mhm.
weekend. Come meet me at my garage sale.
Cool.
And he did, and, he had great vibes, so we went on our first date a week later, and I was really not looking
Settle down.
to settle down. Yeah, settle down. First of all, I'd been single for 10 months. He had just
Mhm,
also gotten out of a
mhm,
really serious relationship, so
mhm.
we were kind of in the same place, and I was like, "This is just gonna be casual." I'm really looking to explore my queer identity, that's really important to me, and he's like,
Right.
"Yeah, totally, totally." But the connection, it was pretty soon, like, after 3 months, I was even thinking, like, I think I could marry this person one day, and
Yes.
we made it official after about 4 months, and just, kept growing ever since.
I love
And,
that.
yeah, so, got married 3 almost 3 years ago, and are
Yay,
now expecting
congratulations.
our first baby, which is really
Yay!
exciting.
That's so exciting.
So yeah, he's the sweetest. He has so much patience for me, and we balance each other out,
Mhm.
like, incredibly well. And I've never been too much for him, and
Perfect.
we have, different interests, and flow in and out of each other's interests, having our own and
Mhm.
together, and
Well, it sounds perfect and healthy and all
yeah,
the things it's
yeah,
supposed to be.
yeah, and he really respects my queer identity, and
I love
yeah.
that. I
Mhm.
love that. And how do you think he's gonna be as a father?
Oh, he's gonna be the best father. He's gonna be a
Yay!
great father. In fact, our we had a meeting with our doulas the other day, and they were,
Oh, cool. You're
yeah,
having doulas. That's cool.
they were very,
Impressed with him?
impressed, yes. But I also think that, like, maybe men these days are not bringing their A games when it comes to these doula calls, I have to say. It seemed like the bar was pretty low.
Well, yeah. Well, I will say my first baby, I woke up the entire time every night.
Mhm.
But I wasn't working, he was.
Yeah.
But still, I'm
Yeah.
realizing that's not supposed to be the case.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even with my friends, I'm like, "No, well, my husband woke up half the time and they brought the baby to me and da 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 da." So my second baby, I knew
Mhm.
better. I was like,
Mhm.
"No, you're waking up."
We're gonna have to cross those bridges when we
Yeah.
come to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
and it's, if he's already so supportive in your life now, it's just going to continue. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
have good
Me too.
feelings
Me
about
too.
this. It's going to be
Yeah,
great. We're going to talk a little bit about creativity.
yeah, yeah,
And you grew up in a super creative home. I mean, your
yeah.
dad is a Emmy award winning writer, and
Yes, yeah.
both of your brothers are super artistic. So it
Mhm.
obviously runs in the family. You're artistic. Were y'all all like little artists? Did you always know?
I always felt like I was the least artistic one.
Mhm.
I played piano. I was
Okay.
very like musical. But my other brothers were more like my younger brother was very
Mhm.
theatrical. My older brother was also very theatrical, but also a big fine artist. He was always drawing.
Cool.
So I just felt like I wasn't as artistic as the
Just
other
compared
ones.
to them.
Yeah, I really wanted to be a psychologist. I really loved connecting with people,
Mhm.
and emoting. And I didn't find photography until after I graduated college
Cool.
in my mid 20s, around the time that I came out. So, like,
Mhm.
a lot of new things were
Mhm.
surfacing in me. Yeah, I was working as an admin at a school
Mhm.
at the time. And they asked me to take some pictures of the kids for the website. And
Mhm.
I really connected with it
Mhm.
and started to figure out how to use the camera. Took an adult education class at one of the colleges here. Started to kind of focus on capturing, just documenting my queer friends,
Mhm.
and really loved fashion and identity,
Mhm.
and the way that expression kind of intersected and went and just kind of dove in, and I never felt connected to any sort of like medium in that way.
Mhm.
I feel like photography is like my soulmate passion. So I
That's
just
amazing.
went with that. That was about 11 years ago, and
That's amazing,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you're so good.
Oh, thank
I've seen your
you.
and your website's so cool, and I
Oh,
love
thank
the way it's,
you.
like, all put together.
Gotta shout out Kelsey at Launch Your Daydream.
Oh
She
my
did it
gosh.
all. She is
That website
incredible.
is
Yeah, she is
on
incredible.
point.
Yeah,
But within the website,
yeah.
your photos, I mean, they're amazing. And some of the things you say, I think I wrote
Oh,
them in here about like just like capturing the moments. Like everyone deserves to be,
celebrated. Yeah.
celebrated. Yes, and it's so true and I love that. And to those people, it probably means the world to them because they don't get that opportunity. There's probably only one of you,
There,
right,
yeah.
or a couple
Yeah.
of you
Yeah.
probably that are doing this or focused on this,
Yeah.
especially,
Yeah.
them. And it's, I mean, thank you for doing that for
No,
them.
I
Like,
mean, I thank everybody who shows up to work with me. I mean, it's like we're in the South, and Nashville especially can be a particularly well, Tennessee can be a particularly hostile climate politically.
mm-hmm.
Um
As is Texas.
Yes, yes, exactly. And so the biggest thing with being photographed is you want to feel comfortable and
Mm-hmm.
seen and safe. And
And safe.
when you
Yes.
show up with somebody who you already know kind of sees you and speaks just that language of connection,
Mm-hmm.
you're already at a starting point, like where you can start to fold into yourself. And most people come to photo shoots feeling nervous and awkward, but if
Mm-hmm.
you have that established trust
Mm-hmm.
with somebody beforehand, where you know that you are seen as your full self,
Mm-hmm.
then you're able to expand upon yourself even more. And it makes me more confident too, knowing that they see me and we can connect.
Mm-hmm.
And it really does go back to my family and how connected I felt with them, and how
How open
you know
everything was and
the
accepting.
expansion of family into community.
Yes. Ah,
Yeah.
that was wonderfully said.
Oh, thanks.
So, did you always know, so you said you started with just kind of taking pictures of,
Hmm.
like, for the kids at school and then taking
Yes,
pictures of
yes.
your friends. Did you
Yeah.
always know it was gonna take this, like, queer turn? Like, this is your subject was gonna be this, like.
Yeah, pretty early on, like with like I really was kind of focusing on kids and family and people, but pretty early on I was like, this is, and still love families and kids,
Of
and I
course.
take pictures of anyone as long as it's like of everything, as long as it's people. I'm not taking pictures of landscapes
Right.
or plants and things, architecture. But this is, that's where I feel like I truly thrive in that artistic space.
Mhm.
I pretty early on started to kind of gravitate towards that.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about your business, when you kind of first started it, turned it into something real, and then when it took off?
Yeah. So in 2019,
Mhm.
I guess, I decided to go part-time at the school where I
Okay.
worked. And they were kind enough to let me stay on part-time there
Nice.
and just do photography work. So
Nice.
I just did photography work there. And then I went part-time and did, part-time photography work.
Mhm.
So I was about like 29 at the
Mhm.
time, about to be 30. And then COVID hit
Mm.
that year. So just by like the grace of luck, I was the office manager at this school. So I avoided just by chance being the office manager through their transition to online. And that would have been so hard. So bless the woman who took that over and had to
Oh
deal with
my
that in her first year.
gosh.
Yeah, that was a relief for me. And so during that year, my first year part time, I was trying to think of things to do, and I started a documentary project called Nashville Queers in Quarantine.
Cool.
And by that before that time, like, I had been, casually doing photography
Mhm.
when I could,
Mhm.
on the weekends and after work, when I could, for about, like 3 or 4 years
Like
or
getting paid
so.
for it?
Yeah, just charging a little bit here and there, but also doing a lot of free work,
Right.
like, a
Just
lot
to
of
get your
queer events and stuff. I'd
Mhm.
be like, I'd love to just photograph this for
Mhm.
free, putting out on my Instagram, like, I'll do, like, $50 shoots, and or just free ones with people that I thought had, like, cool
Right.
vibes. Um, so I was doing a lot of that, but I wanted to do Nashville Queers in Quarantine, so I just put thing on my Instagram, free shoots, 15 minutes. I would go to people's houses and do these distance photo shoots
Cool.
of them on their porch, and, it
Cool.
really blew up, and, people started to, everybody was online.
Mhm.
So, more people learned about my work,
Mhm.
and, that, connected me with more people I feel like that was kind of a real big turning point in my career. I did a couple other projects after that.
Mhm.
One that was highlighting, businesses that were supporters of the trans community during a time when there was like legislation targeting bathrooms and
Right,
businesses, and
right.
so that connected me to business owners.
Cool.
I did that with my friend Liz, and then started a project called the Nashville Bi Diaries in 2021 that I
Cool.
still do today. And it focuses on people who identify as bi, and allows them to like write a diary entry along with a photo shoot. And
Neat.
so those things, which I did just for myself and
Mhm.
for the community, allowed me to connect with multiple people, and then allow me to get more, commissioned work
Right.
with folks that I really aligned with. And it's just was just all about making connections, and also just living here. I've lived in Nashville, it'll be 14 years in May. Just living
Wow.
here, knowing people, always kind of being involved
Mhm.
in the community since I moved here. So I was part-time for about 5 years, and then I decided to try going full-time 2 summers ago. So
Wow, so pretty new.
yeah, it's been 2 years of that. It's been hard, it's been a hustle,
Right.
and this baby is gonna change everything,
Right. But you got
but
this.
I did, yeah, I did it, and, yeah, now just kind of trying to focus on balance and figuring out what that is,
Mhm.
if it exists at all.
I know. I don't think it doesn't. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't think it does.
right.
I think every day is gonna be different
Yeah,
and but it's okay. It's like a
yeah,
beautiful mess.
yeah.
How do you hope your clients feel during a session with you?
During a session, I want people to feel comfortable most of all, and beautiful and seen. Most people go into photo shoots saying they feel awkward
Mhm.
and unnatural, which is that's like the norm. Like, unless you're used to getting pictures taken or you really enjoy getting pictures taken, it's very vulnerable to be in front of the camera. And so I really try and just like make it super chill. And once we get past the point of that awareness of like,
The
oh,
camera,
there's
the
something
uh-huh.
happening, to me, or there's this camera on me, and it's just kind of flows. I just want people to feel empowered and beautiful, and if they leave feeling that way, that's all I could ever ask for.
That's
And
great.
the best feedback I can get afterwards is that they say that they feel like they look like themselves
I
in the
love
picture.
that. Yes.
That's the best feedback that I can get, and that they enjoyed the experience.
I love that.
Of course, as somebody with OCD, I always go home afterwards and replay every like,
Every
did I
moment
say
in your
anything
head.
weird? Did I
Yes.
say anything
Yes.
awkward? But it's a beautiful moment of connection
Mhm.
between both of us, and we're
Mhm.
putting our trust in each other.
Are they mostly candid shots? Do you just kinda let them go or they're posed?
It's like it's like organic posing.
Okay.
So I'm not the type of photographer who'll go like, put your hand here, put your hand
Mhm.
here, like, or do this specific thing and move them. I kind of like to see how somebody naturally falls,
Right.
and then I will direct people to, like, turn into the light or
Right.
angle your face this way just
Mhm.
based on
Mhm.
the angles that I'm seeing, the light
Mhm. The
I'm
lighting.
seeing, and then somebody will naturally fall into something. I'll be like, "Oh, wait, stay right there."
Yes.
I'm very vocal, I'm very emotive. Awkward
I
laughter is
like
always
that.
really cute, and then I love it when people, like, play with their hair. I love it when
Yes.
with couples, I do a lot of, like, couple shoots too, just,
Mhm.
like, telling them to enjoy each other and
Mhm.
just kind of watching and observing and then going from there and suggesting things
Mhm.
and always saying, "Something feels weird, don't do it."
Yep.
But mostly trying to observe first. Yeah.
Okay, lastly, we're gonna talk a little bit about motherhood
Oh
and
my
your
gosh.
expected,
Yes.
baby.
My baby.
Do you know the gender? Are we talking about the gender?
Yeah, it's a boy. Yeah,
Boy!
I
Yay!
know.
Okay,
Yeah.
exciting. Were
Yeah.
you hoping one or the other?
I knew it was gonna be a boy,
Okay.
like, from even before I conceived. I just, like, always felt like I was gonna have a boy
Mhm.
first. I'm not sure if I'll be 36 when he's born, so I'm
Okay.
not sure how many more I will be able to have if I
Mhm.
choose to have more. But I was just like, "It's gonna be a boy." So when, I got that, blood test and it says a boy, I was like,
Yes.
"Yeah, of
Of
course."
course, you were surprised.
I did have that moment, I feel like as women, sometimes there's like that, desire to know what it would be like to have that
Like a
mother-daughter
little girl. Mhm.
connection. So I allowed myself to kind of, like, feel that.
Grieve that. Yep.
I also have, like, not connected with a lot of little boys, like,
Mhm.
in my time,
Mhm.
but, I feel like I've always been kind of like a girl's girl,
Mhm.
but also, A, what is gender? Um,
Exactly.
and B, like, I just feel his essence, like, I've just known, like,
Yay.
I've always known he
Yes.
was a boy, and I feel like, raising a boy in this world,
Mhm.
if that's the gender that he,
Chooses to take upon,
continues
yes.
as he grows, it's a big
It
responsibility,
is.
and
And what a wonderful mother to teach him
yeah,
how
I'm
to do it
excited. Yeah.
well.
And my husband, I think one of the reasons I felt like I was gonna have a boy is because I feel like my husband is also gonna be a great model for him.
Good.
Yeah,
That's
here comes boy mom
exciting.
time.
Yes, boy
Yeah.
mom. I'm a boy mom.
Yes.
I love being a boy mom. And
Yeah, I've heard
our
that from so
our
many of the
relationship is just so, I mean,
tender.
obviously love my daughter,
Yeah.
but him and I are just like I feel
Yeah.
like he's an old soul. So
Yeah.
it's like he's lived 1,000 lives. He's like coming to me. We're just like connecting on all these levels and
Mhm.
it's cool. And
Yeah.
it's like you were saying, it's cool to be able to raise him
Mhm.
in ways that I know are appropriate and
Yes.
ways that I don't know that little boys should be raised
Yeah. Yeah.
like raising them to be empathetic and that equal rights and
Yes.
to that
Yes.
are there are other people. I mean, he's fairly young now to talk
Mhm.
about, all the things.
Yeah, but it just kind of
But
starts organically in, like,
yes.
the environment and just the natural conversation,
Yes.
so
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're going to love
yeah,
it. I'm so
yeah, I'm
excited for you.
excited, yeah.
So, how do you feel about seemingly so being in a and like correct me if I'm saying the
Mhm.
words wrong. You're in a straight relationship,
Straight passing or,
straight
like,
passing
yeah,
relationship.
mhm.
What is it called? Heteronormative?
Yeah, like, yeah, heteronormative vibes, like, yeah,
And then okay, and then y'all are
straight assumed, yeah,
having
mhm.
a baby.
Yeah, yeah.
And then do you ever feel excluded in some way or kind of people look at you or look at y'all and like I don't know, do you ever feel like discriminated against in any kind of way for being too straight
Yeah.
passing?
Well, I mean, it's a complex thing. I feel like, I mean, there's so much privilege in being straight
Mhm.
passing,
I can see
because
that.
you don't have your rights questioned.
Right.
I mean, like, families who are two mom, two dad families,
Mhm.
like, you have to adopt your own child. Like, the non-birthing parent has to a second
Really?
adopt their own
Oh, I
child.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's and with marriage equality rights being threatened, people are worried that they're going to have,
Mhm.
their rights to their children taken away. It's very, very scary. So there's a lot of privilege in that. So I wouldn't say that I feel like discriminated against. It's more of like an internal concern of lack of visibility of erasure
Mhm.
of my visibility of queerness being erased, and that's something that you enter into when you are in a straight assumed relationship,
Mhm.
and I feel like having a baby brings even more heteronormative
Right.
vibes
Right.
because no one's gonna like walk into a space and being like, oh, mom and dad, are you perhaps like bisexual? Like,
Right.
what's your relationship? Like, no one's going to assume that. It's like,
Mhm.
mom and dad, oh, you're having a boy. Is like, dad, are you so excited?
Right.
Because like our tax person was like talking all about him being, the man, and having a boy. And so when we work with our doc, it was important to me to find doctors and doulas who understood that dynamic. I
Mhm.
just want there to be like this openness and equalness of like the essence of queerness within the relationship, even if
Yes.
it's not visible, because queerness is a way, it's like a lens in which I view the world.
Right.
And part of something I really explored in my photo project, The Bi Diaries, just like how do you embrace your own queerness outside of having a partner um who is queer as well.
Right. That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
And I hope you, and I know you will, figure it out. And as you become a mom as well and enter, like you said, those mom spaces, preschools, things like that, like,
Mhm.
you're going to feel that. You're going to feel a little bit of like, um, because people aren't going to assume that
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
But I know from what I know of you, you are still going to be in your communities, and you'll bring your child to the communities, and he'll be like the little spokes baby of the community, and it'll just
Yeah.
be wonderful. And you're going to bring awareness, and even to more people who are feeling like you, who are maybe worried about that same thing of like
Mhm.
the erasure, what is it called,
By
by
erasure.
erasure,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that they, if they do like get pregnant, or if they do, they won't be seen that
Mhm.
way. And maybe
Mhm.
you will then be their advocate to
Yeah.
normalize it and be like, yes, you can still keep your identity and also, be a
Yes.
mom.
I yeah, I think it's important to just like individually allow yourself to be your fullest sense, because like on the inside it'll start to seep on the outside
Right.
into your outside world. And yeah, there's a lot of safety and a lot of privilege into the passing privilege
Right.
is
I get
what's
it.
is
Mhm.
like what you would call it. And also internally there's just like always this internal dialogue of trying to deal with that those societal assumptions and expectations, and there's so many gendered expectations of
Mhm.
the role of the husband and the
Mhm.
role of the wife in this pregnancy. And I want
Mhm.
it, like to be seen as a like a true partnership and collaboration,
Mhm.
and also one where like my queer identity is part of the conversation too.
Right. I love that. That was a great way to explain that.
Mm.
Well, I think we have to wrap up, but we have one last segment.
Okay.
It's called our hot seat segment.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
What's the most meaningful photo shoot you remember?
The most meaningful photo shoot I did with one person was, it was the first shoot I did with a trans person, embracing, like being really proud of their body. It was a
Okay.
very like intimate shoot with us in their apartment, very simple. I didn't really know what I was doing photographically, but it was an amazing shoot. I also got a photograph, Tegan and Sarah.
Oh my gosh, no way.
Amazing. It was amazing.
Oh my gosh, I saw that
So
documentary.
meaningful in different ways. Yeah.
How many cats is too many cats?
5.
What would be the title of the movie of your life?
Modern day girl living modern day lives. It's a modern day life.
Love it.
It's a joke. It's a joke with my family.
Like you already knew it.
That was the kind of movie and book I only wanted to read. I was like not interested in hearing about what men were doing.
Right.
Was not interested in period pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
Capturing joy or capturing vulnerability?
I would say both.
Okay. Favorite
Yeah.
color?
Like teal blue.
Okay. If aliens landed and
Mhm.
asked you to photograph Earth, what would you
Mhm.
show them first?
I will photograph Earth. I would show them queer dance party
Ooh,
at the
love it.
Basement East in
Love
Nashville
it.
once a
Oh,
month.
they'd be coming for sure.
Yeah, called QDP.
But don't do that because I don't want them to come. I'm
Yeah.
scared of them.
No, I know.
Okay, fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
Chappell Roan,
Okay.
Travis Kelsey,
Oh gosh.
Winona Ryder.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm gonna kill Travis Kelsey because I don't really have any relationship to him other than I just watched his mom on The Traitors. I'm not even like Taylor Swift. She's cool and all, but,
Right. Okay.
I think I'm gonna fuck Winona Ryder, because she's hot, and Chappell Roan, I wanna be with her forever. So, like, I wanna marry her
Marry
and always
her.
have her in my corner.
I love it.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That your dad helped me with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where do you get Winona Ryder from?
You don't know. He said he thinks your mom looks like Winona Ryder.
But
I know.
no, no. But that, okay, well, that's not for anything,
Moving on. One word to describe this season of your life.
Oh, growth.
Would you rather have your camera run out of battery
Mm.
or your social battery is running out during a session?
Oh my gosh, social battery run out. If your camera runs out of battery, you don't have any others. It's so embarrassing.
I know.
That's the worst. Social battery, it's
know.
happened, and you just push through, and you fake it till you make it.
I know.
Yeah.
Emily, it was such a joy to have you on the
Such a
show.
joy. This was so much fun. You
Yay,
made it so
thank you.
easy.
Oh,
Thanks
thank
for
you
yapping
so
with
much.
me.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Thank you for watching the Mommy Artist podcast. Remember that you can't have butterfly conversations with caterpillar people and that everyone out there is trying their best. Love you. Bye. All right, besties, my glass is empty, but my cup is full, and that means it's the end of the episode. Remember that you can't have butterfly conversations with caterpillar people and that everyone out there is trying their best. Love you. Bye. You can find the Mommy Artist podcast on YouTube to watch the full video. Give it a like, hit subscribe, and come back next week for more iconic chaos and creative magic. But no worries if not.